Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
At the coffee shop again.
Love the coffee shop, man. No better place to be than the coffee shop.
It's safe.
Talk about life, talk about living, share life, share living, share what we're doing, share tools.
Yeah. It's kind of a safe place, though, isn't it? A little bit. I mean, it's like kind of a safe zone in here.
Oh, totally safe zone.
Yeah.
Until you spill coffee.
Until you spill coffee.
Right? No, it's great, man. I love coming to the coffee shop.
You been good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm a little tired today. I don't know why all my apps say I'm
you were
doing
saying
great,
that. Yeah, you were saying you're just a little.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I'm enjoying the Boiled Owl
Oh, yeah.
coffee.
We're still on that kick.
BoiledOwlCoffee.com. Love them. We'll have to put them up in the resource room, put a link up there. And
Yeah, if you're looking for good.
love Stevie G, man.
Good beans.
10% of proceeds go to Arcosa.
Right.
RCOSA.org is a nonprofit, sober living. 32 years here in Chicago. They do some great work helping people achieve long-term sobriety.
Yep.
It sounds like I'm reading a commerciul,
I know.
but I'm really not.
And if you drink a lot of coffee,
And hey, just to let everybody know,
disclaimer at the end.
full disclaimers, we don't get any money from anything.
No.
We don't make any money in this on anything. We're not sponsored.
Nope.
So
We're sponsored
we just
by
are,
Sobriety.
man. We're just sponsored by Sobriety. That's right. Love it.
So what do we got on topic today?
So I think the word on the board is accountability.
Accountability. Yikes. That one scared me for years. I stayed far away from accountability. I'm a rare bird. I had none of that in my life. Really, until I came into this program. Truly. I had no accountability to nobody, no time.
So how do you define accountability?
Well, I think it's being responsible of yourself to somebody else. Of yourself to somebody else. So for me, I wasn't responsible of myself. In my youth, I could come and go as I pleased. We had an open door policy. You could come and go as you pleased. There wasn't really rules that kept me in check. There was no structure that kept me in check. And so I was pretty much a free agent my whole life and wasn't accountable to one team or another.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the accountability I have today. I had less accountability when I was 12
Okay.
than I have today.
Right.
I have a ton of accountability today. And it's actually, I make that list of 25 things that I do a day, a week, a month, or whatever.
Right.
Accountability is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of tools a lot of ways that I'm accountable. So let's list some of them. How are you accountable?
Well, I think, first of all, I'm accountable from a sobriety standpoint with the people in the rooms that I share the rooms with of Alcoholics Anonymous. Those that like, for example, in the morning, I'm accountable in the morning. My phone goes off. There's a group of 3 of us, and we hold ourselves accountable in the morning to check in.
So do you have to respond to that?
Yes.
Okay, so they make you respond. So that's accountable.
That's accountable.
So if you don't respond, what happens?
I'll get a phone call.
Okay, so that's accountable.
Right.
Love it.
Same thing spiritually. I'm part of a men's group on Monday night. When I don't show up there, I get a text usually from you to start with that says you were missed. Which I speak Glenn, and when Glenn says you were missed, that means give me a good reason why you weren't here.
You know what? Not really. No, and it shouldn't be. I'm not doing it. I'm really not doing it. I literally say that because I literally mean it. Mm-hmm. Because you literally bring kernels of awesomeness during that group, and when you're not there, I miss them, and others miss them, and others miss you. So I think it's only fair to communicate to you reality that you were missed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that you matter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't matter and you weren't missed, you wouldn't have gotten the text.
So when you say you were missed, you really meant it.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it as,
no,
all right,
see,
where
that's
were you,
not-
bud?
No, not one bit. Not one bit, because I know life comes in, man. I know what you got going on in life, and you got a full plate,
Right.
and I understand some of that stuff shuffles. I get it, right?
Right.
No, when I say that, I really mean that.
So where do you find accountability in your life? Practical accountability.
So one is
today?
in the rooms too, right? One is with my sponsor.
Right.
Now, I don't talk to my sponsor every day like I used to. I talk to him twice a week, and if he feels there's too many days that have gone by, he'll call, right? And he's not worried about me drinking, right? He just wants to make sure that my mind's focused on the right stuff.
Right.
So there's him. There's people in the rooms, right? If I didn't show up, people in the rooms, there'd be accountability. If I didn't show up on Monday nights, there'd be accountability. If I didn't jump in on the text strings throughout the day, there'd be accountability. Glenn, what's up? Why are you too busy for us, right? What's going on in your world, right? At work, I have a major accountability at work, right? I got people, I mean, it's 16 hours a day, levels of
But isn't
accountability.
that different for you? Didn't you used to be in a job position where you had less accountability and a little more freedom to do what you wanted to do?
I built it that way.
Yes, you
it's
did,
called being
right.
a self-employed consultant.
That's right.
Right. So one way to be, is get out of that zone and get into a role that I have to show up every day. That the
I know,
business,
right?
if
Both
I don't
of us have done that.
Yeah. If I'm not accountable, if I don't show up, the business doesn't run.
Right.
So that's another way. Another way is, around the house, right? I mean, people know my patterns. People know my habits around the house. And if I don't show up and I miss, people are like, what the crap, right? If I didn't cut the grass, what the crap, right?
If you don't pick up the crap, what the crap?
Right, exactly, right? And there's details that I take care of. And if I miss, what the crap, right? And then I have Life 360, that's on my app, right? Life 360 is, people in my family know where I'm at all time. And I can remember 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever it was, Jen's like, hey, I got this app, Life 360. We're all going to be on it. That way we know where the kids are. And I'm like, okay, great. I sign up for it. And she's like, hey, I can't see where you're at. I'm like, well, I'm not turning it on. Like, who are you? Right?
Sure.
And she's like, well, I think it's important for all of us to know where each other are at. And she looks at me and she goes,
Would you go anywhere? Right?
She says, are you going to places you shouldn't be? I'm like, no. She goes, then what does it matter? And you know what? I looked at her. I talked to my sponsor. I'm like, you know what? She's right. And so everybody knows where I'm at all times. But it reminds me of, I had a sponsor one time who had that on his app, on his phone. And so he would literally go to the grocery store. And so she could track him going to the liquor store. And so he literally went to the grocery store or, the drugstore, or wherever it was, put the phone behind products on one of the shelves, run to the liquor store, come back and pick up his phone.
Stop it.
So the things aren't totally foolproof, but
I'll tell you what's foolproof. I don't know how the story relates, but I didn't tell you this. What happened to me last week? So I'm not on all social media. I'm on Instagram. I follow Sober.Coffee and other sober things. I do a lot of that. I used to be on Facebook, but my account got hacked, and about 2.5 years ago, right? And I don't know what they did, but whoever hacked into my account, they stole about $100 out of my credit card, and I just got banned from Facebook. That was about 2.5 years ago, and so I've been off of Facebook. And I invested a lot in a network there. I probably had whatever number was. I was connected with a lot of people out there. So that was 2.5 years ago. I get a knock on my door last week in the evening, early evening. And I open the door and I see 2 FBI agents. And the FBI agents
it's awesome.
are all about, are you on social media? And I said, well, I'm on. Odd question, first of all. I don't know. I'm getting a sense why you're asking, but I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Facebook. I got hacked and I got banned.
Right.
And they wanted to see my laptop and my cell phone. And, there was a nanosecond in there, Glenn, where, I wasn't accountable to anybody on my laptop. I don't have any filters on my laptop or my phone. But all of a sudden, I found myself accountable to my actions as I handed over my laptop and my cell phone to these detectives so they could do some investigation to see what kind of stuff I looked at, what kind of stuff I produced on that. They ended up taking the laptop away for 4 hours and brought it back and said, "You're right. I mean, it's super clean." But in that moment, I was accountable for every action I've taken over the past 3 years.
So they
wanted to see if the pornography that was hacked on my account, if I produced it. Right?
Oh my gosh.
And I had to hand over my computer and my phone. And at that moment, I said to myself, "Thank God that's not one of my weaknesses."
Right.
Because, I mean, here it is. I mean, I here's my life. Here's my surfing
So whoever
history.
hacked your stuff was going down the porn route.
Yes, we're going down the porn route.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? But I guess and that's not the reason that I wanted to talk about accountability today, but I just wanted to share that story that I was held accountable the minute I handed that laptop over. Everything I had done on that laptop for the past 4 years was for all eyes to see. There was no hiding behind my keyboard. The keyboard was now in the hands of the FBI that could see everything I had done. And if they would have came back and said, "Wow, look at what you're looking at," I would have been a suspect. But instead, I was cleared of all implications because there's my browsing history. You got my phone. You see what I do on social media. You see what I do in life. Here it is. Here I am. Hold me to account. If you find porn on there, I probably got a problem.
So I'll tell you this. I love that story.
It's our story, right?
No, I love that story.
You never want the FBI knocking on your door.
I sit here today and I, I trust Jen 100%. She trusts me 100%. And there's times she's like, "Hey, I need to get something on your phone or whatever." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And
here it is.
I could care less. Now I will say, like, if you go through my pictures, right? All I said is, you can look at anything. Yeah. Don't ask me any questions.
Okay.
Right. I don't want to justify why, I have a picture of whatever. Right. Okay. Or why this one saying I took a picture of it because it means something to me. Right. I just don't want to explain my life.
Yeah, right. Got it. Right.
And because I'm a weird dude and I have all kinds of sobriety stuff and. Right, and she'd be like, "Well, why are you saving that? Why is that important to you?" I'm like, right. It's probably not important to me now, but 3 days ago it was probably important to me, right?
Right.
But
you hand the phone over to her.
Totally, I don't care.
You don't care. There's nothing.
She's got all my logins. Yes. She's got all my passwords. And God love the person when I die that goes through my photos. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about. Just
planting a couple in there?
No.
Oh.
Just let my entire photo roll live at my funeral. You want to know what Glenn's about? Look at my photo roll.
Really now?
Yep. I'm thinking about it. I think it'd be funny as crap.
How about we put a link to it on our Sober.Coffee site?
See, look,
the resource
here's
room.
The tickets. Here's this, right? Boiled out coffee, right? There's some work stuff. There's a bush.
There's a bush,
right? I mean, she sit there and say, "Why
did you take a picture of that bush?"
Right? Here's a saying: when Lamborghini said that, "quote unquote," we don't do commercials because our target audience isn't sitting around watching TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
cool, right?
I mean, look, there's a picture of me, right?
Right there, you go.
So she'd be like,
"Why did you take that picture?
Why are you taking a picture of yourself? Right? Why? Like what's that? Right?"
But don't you find the
fact
that
take a picture of that, right?
Don't you find the fact that she has access to your phone anytime that you're at some level of accountability with her?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
which isn't it kind of, I don't know, like it used to. It would have annoyed me back in the day, right? Because I didn't want anyone to know what I was doing, where I was doing it. It was none of their business. But now, I hate to say this, but I'm living cleaner, the cleanest I've ever lived. And so I'm not ashamed of my actions. If I don't make it on a Monday night, it's not because I went to a strip club.
Right.
It's because I had a soccer game for my grandkid that I went to, right? It's okay to do analysis on me in my life. I'm okay with that now.
But isn't that funny how the brain market goes? Because your first reaction to my text is, I was checking up on you.
Right, sure.
Right, and that wasn't the intention at all. But I think that's...
But I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I didn't think I wanted it, but I want that. I want that pull, that accountability.
Hey, accountability is priceless, and I really believe, when I didn't have any accountability, I got in trouble.
Right, that's right. Absolutely.
This is part of the guardrails.
Yeah.
Just part of the guardrails, man. Accountability is a great guardrail, and I love it. And I mean, I have so much accountability. I'm telling you, I had less to answer for when I was 12,
right,
than I have today.
Incredible.
So I don't know, man. It's good stuff. If for those out there that are fighting it, it's just another tool.
Surrender.
Yep.
Surrender.
Just give in, man. Say you can see whatever you want, because I'm telling you, you live different.
Yeah.
If you know the FBI is going to look at your shit,
that's right,
then you don't look at shit.
That's right. And the other thing that I think is worth saying before we close is the importance of that accountability with your sponsor is probably one of the best accountability tool, one of the best sobriety tools you can have is that accountability with your sponsor.
I know. I just went out to my sponsor dinner this week. We went to a meeting and dinner together to talk about some stuff. Full-fledged, man, full kimono, wide open. I'm like, here's some shit I'm going through, man. Let's chat through it. And I'm telling you, it was a monumental. I even texted you. Yeah. Hey, I'm down the bottom, right? I'm smelling the shit.
But that's you being accountable.
Yeah, but then I texted him. Mm-hmm. I went to a meeting with him. We went out to dinner with him. And then I talked to the person after that and talked things through. And amazingly different perspective, total solution from Wednesday on.
Right.
You just can't argue with how this stuff works.
I know. It's great.
It took a while to find the solutions to break down my own ego, to surrender. But I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Love you, brother.
I love you, man.
All right. Talk to you.
See you, brother.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.